Hi, I'm Katie. I've been surrounded with vintage goodies most of my life, but just in the last 10 years, I've figured out just how much delight I get from having it in my home and looking at it for other people. Come along as I share my shopping adventures at thrift stores, estate sales, and sometimes even along the curb. I will also be showing some of my decorating projects that I've completed and how I have chosen to add vintage to my home for a modern granny chic look. I hope you will find joy along the way as we reawaken vintage. Well, hi everybody. I am here with the long-promised video about Reader's Digest books. I know this might not be something that everybody is interested in, but even if you're not interested in collecting them, I hope you might just find some fun information about them. So here we go. So, a little background. Reader's Digest began these condensed books in 1950, and there were 4 that were published, one for each season each year. The first few years were super fun. You can see this, for instance. It's icicles on branches. It's a Christmas one. I've got this and one other Christmas book. They're just beautiful, lovely to put out at Christmas time just to decorate with. And they have lots of other fun patterns. I have some absolutely beautiful ones, and truthfully, this is how I started collecting them. As I was going to estate sales or thrift stores, I was seeing these books, and they were absolutely beautiful to me. I think probably about a year later, I stumbled across the fact that I think it was Anthropology, the store, was actually using these and carving out people's initials. So you'd have like a book that had an A or a B, and then they were selling them as brand new items in their stores, and they were pretty popular. I don't know so much that they are anymore, but I just love the charm and what they were meant to be originally. So for quite a few years, probably 6-7 years ago, I was just collecting the really pretty ones, and then I was trying to find out different ways in which to display them, because obviously, as I will show you here on my shelf, you display them this way, and although it's fun and interesting to see the spines of the book, you are not seeing the really pretty designs. So I was actually setting them out on some tables open like that. I had a cabinet where I displayed milk glass, and I would put these behind the milk glass as pops of different colors along the way. I'm just kind of showing you some of the different ones I got. I've kind of gotten out of that for right now, and what I've been doing the last probably 6 months is, I know this is where it's going to sound crazy, is I have decided that I actually want to read them, and I have gotten through probably 6 or 7 of them so far. And what's fascinating is that I'm finding that a lot of these books, because a lot of them, sorry, there go the dogs. So as I was reading these books, I was finding out as I Googled that some of them were then made into movies. So it's been really fun to read. And again, I'm reading the condensed version in these books, but to read them and then go and watch an old 1950s or 60s or 70s movie. So it's just been kind of a rabbit hole, but a really fun rabbit hole. So one of the things I did, because I'm administratively inclined, is I found a website that actually had all of the Reader's Digest books that were made and what each book was that was in there. So I made myself a little Excel spreadsheet, and then I can check off when I've read a book. So obviously this one is between 1950 and 58. I haven't read any of them. We go to here, we've got 2. But what I found interesting, and I don't know if it was the source that I found on the internet or whether books were published different ways, is that in some cases I was reading a book and it wasn't on my list, it wasn't the same as the book, if that makes sense. So my book is going to tell me that it's, volume whatever, right? Volume 4 of a particular year. But then when I went to my list, that book had maybe a couple of those stories in it, but not all of them. So all I can think of is the source that I got these from online isn't absolutely perfect, but it's been pretty darn close. So if you are like me and you have any desire for this spreadsheet, I would be happy to share it with you. If you want to email me at reawakenvintage@gmail.com, I'd be happy to send you a copy of it. And you can see there's tons of them. This is going to take me forever if I really want to read every single one of them. The last one was from 1989, and we will see along the way they just kind of lost some of the flair and the fun. They just weren't as pretty. So again, all of these are pretty fun, but you get to a point where You got this design, that one. And again, these are older books. I mean, I got some old ones. This is scotch taped. They're just, right, they're bland. And then this one, no. Right? The spine is great, but the actual book is just plain blue. There's nothing to it. So when you're at the thrift store, it's usually really easy to see these if you've got like a ton of books on the shelf, because you can easily spot the spine and look at this. But sometimes they may still have the dust jacket on it. But look at the really old dust jackets still had the books looking the same. So, what I did, the crazy thing I did, and why I am now banned, is that I ordered a bunch of Reader's Digest books off of Facebook Marketplace, and they just arrived today. So let's go downstairs and we'll do a little unboxing and see what we got and how pretty they are and how old they are. Okay, here we are. The only thing I did was open up the box, meaning cutting it open, because I didn't want to be on camera with one hand trying to open a box. Then the video would be something completely else, right? Why Katie went to the emergency room. So let's see what our box has. Again, some of these, I'm assuming some of these are going to be duplicates, but that's okay. Again, I've had enough of these around my house that I've been using to decorate with, that some of them look really familiar, and I'm always like, oh, I already have that one. So again, here's what we're talking about. Not a really pretty one. It's going to be a newer one. It actually tells you it's, okay, so here's something interesting. It says 1994. So already, what am I hemming and hawing about? My list only went up to 1989. So I'm going to have to figure something out here, because obviously, okay, so maybe my list isn't complete. But if you'd like what I have, okay, so plain one, nothing pretty there. Some really pretty teal blue ones. I won't go through each one of them, but let's see. This one, don't have my glasses on, folks. Some pretty ones, right? Some pretty green striped ones. Just a ton of books. So I can't even remember how many are in there, but there's a lot. This one I know I already have, because when I first saw this at a thrift store, I just fell in love with it. How fun is this? The mermaid one. The seahorse one. So I know I already have one of these. This is from 1962. So if you're all interested, let me know. Some pretty blue. So again, you can see that these are just beautiful just to display as they are. Put them on your coffee table. Oh, I really like that. Kind of a jadeite green color. That's from, oh Lord, help me. You can see it probably better than I can. 1961, so it's older. Again, we're looking for the 1950 ones, because I haven't read a lot of those. Oh, upside down. Oh, this one's very unique and different. I would assume that's a 1964. Yeah, that's had a very abstract. So again, all of the books that are in, or all the stories that are in this kind of looks like it. I'm sure it wasn't maybe a Christmas one, but it sure does look like it. Huh. Let's see what else we have. Again, ones that aren't too pretty. I think I have this one as well, but the copy that I have is coming apart a little bit. So if you're interested in the one that's coming apart, I'll probably keep this one because it's a little better condition. Let's see, another blue and pink. Let's grab that one's, oh, it doesn't have the cover to the spine, but the actual book's pretty fun. Again, just makes me happy, just brings me joy. That one, 1968. Oh, does that look similar to one I just pulled out? Similar, but I don't think exactly the same. The 1960s were their good years. 1961 with the really pretty ones. Like this one to me isn't that pretty, right? Just kind of plain. It's like they started off really, really good. Here's another one that I know I already have. It's a really pretty teal and gold color. So if this is something you'd be interested in, I have an extra one of that. So 3, I think, so far, and probably more, because these don't stand out in my mind very much because the designs aren't that great, but I probably have some of these as well. Just a plain one. Oh, this one's pretty. It's got butterflies on it. Abstract butterflies. And then we have, again, some just really, I guess, it's interesting because from what I'm looking at, you've got kind of maybe half feminine and half masculine, so maybe they were trying to, but you never have any like cowboys or, you know, so I wonder more if these were geared towards the stay-at-home mom, you know, the kids were at school and they would read. That's a very green, masculine one. They would read, right, while the kids are at school maybe, in between cleaning. Oh, this one is another one that's going to be newer, a 1994. And then last but not least, another one that must be newer because it's got nothing at all on it that's pretty. Well, here, I've educated myself as well as you guys today. So again, just another opportunity to read some books, to be educated by the era, you know, what was going on, especially in the 1960s, to possibly use these as decorating items. You can pick them up usually pretty cheap at most thrift stores. They're not going to resale for a whole lot. You might see some of the prettier designs going for more money than others, like on Facebook Marketplace or eBay. But for the most part, you should be able to pick them up probably max $5 a piece. And again, that's only if it's in amazing condition and a really pretty design. So hope that you got some information that you didn't have before. Whether you needed it or not, I'm not sure, but you've got it anyway. So thanks so much for watching. We'll talk to you guys later. Bye-bye.